you guys we're going into season 3 now. During the writing process, was there anything you guys came across that you were like, no, this is too far, like even for Adult Swim?
I feel like we tend to, well, maybe, I don't know. I can't recall anything off the top of my head, but I feel like we're pretty. We don't ever like do stuff and then Adult Swim pulls us back. It's usually us pulling ourselves back.
Ooh, boy, you're really going for it over there, huh?
Can you recall anything that we were like?
I think no. The answer is no. We go as far as we think is appropriate. Actually, I think we probably maybe go a little farther. Not because I don't know. We do it just, because we know that the process will shave it down, and then if it shaves it down too much, we complain, and then.
It's very iterative. I mean, like we might start with a script that's got something really intense, and then when we get to thumbs, we'll see it and go, oh, okay, that's either we thought that was intense and it's not at all, or the opposite. That's okay. This is too much. But I wish I could think of a specific example. But
there's a big battle over diarrhea this season.
Oh,
I mean, the S&P notes from Adult Swim tend to take the form of very technical, clerical stuff. They say, if you're going to show this much blood, can you make it a different color? You know, can this alien have a different color blood because it's a lot of blood? So it's like technical stuff that just keeps you under the line. Internally, we sometimes have crazy conversations where we go, okay, now we're technically making light of this person being hurt, and it doesn't actually tonally make sense anymore. And we'll go round and round and go like, no, I think that's why it's funny. Yeah, but no, you're describing like shock humor, and shock humor is only as good as shocking you into feeling like everything's going to be all right.
It's not supposed to hurt, I thought. Ooh-wee.
And so, but that has nothing to do with S&P. S&P just goes like, that's too much diarrhea. You need to cut your diarrhea down by 50%. Yeah.
Anything else to add?
Yeah, there's too much blood when Jerry's arms get sucked into that hand dryer in episode 5. I'm just saying, dial it back.
We'll see what we can do.
There shouldn't have been blood in that shot.
Yes.
You're preaching to the choir.
Well, then what do you mean? How can you both be saying you didn't want blood and there's blood?
Hey,
who's in charge here? Who's in charge? Get rid of the blood. We're getting that on record. The blood better be gone by the time it gets to air.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
Ooh-wee.
So there was actually a petition by fans to create a Rick and Morty movie. Now, if you guys were to create a movie, what ideas would you want to throw in there?
Oh man, that's a toughie because, like, you know, I feel like we'd have. I think that would be. I don't know. There's a ton of ideas we could do, but like I feel like that would be one of those things. Like, okay, well now it's a fucking movie, so we gotta like really bring it, right? Wouldn't we'd have that kind of like weight on our shoulders, don't you think?
Yeah, and I think there's a villain maybe that's been set up that we could maybe play out on the canvas of a movie.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, that's true.
I think the biggest mistake we could make with a movie is to assume that the stakes need to be higher.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
And therefore, then we'd be like jumping sharks that we wouldn't normally jump. I think whereas easily, like if you were to watch a sci-fi movie, like you go watch Blade, and you're just like told this guy hunts vampires and that's all he does. Like you could watch a Rick and Morty movie and say they just show up on this planet. And the reason it's a movie is because we dumped a ton of money into how to animating, like make it like Ghosts of Mars or something, and just make a crazy one-off, like John Carpenter kind of story.
I'm with you. I would prefer that. It's like the Beavis and Butthead movie is a great example of just like they just told a funny, awesome story with those two idiots at the center. And I think the South Park movie is another great example. Yeah, it's like we're not gonna. I think the biggest mistake we could make is try to wrap up a bunch of canonical, crazy, answer a bunch of questions. It's like, nah, fuck that. Let's just do an evergreen, badass, like,
South Park movie
pedal to the metal.
Because South Park movie doesn't show you why Cartman is mean, and it doesn't but what it does is it plays with the definition of Cartman and in ways that a good episode would, and then they create this like larger thing. Yeah, South Park movie.
Hey, man, let's make a movie.
I'm down with that. I'd watch it. You're in?
I'm in.
Wonderful. It's set. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.